Speaking of YouTube, watch any porn videos this week?
Well, sort of. I saw Cam.
Okay, it's not a porn video, but it's about porn videos, kinda.
Well, and this wasn't what I expected.
It wasn't what I expected either.
I thought she was like an Instagram famous kind of influencer.
I was
YouTube.
expecting it to be a YouTube video person.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's not what she is.
Cam, 2018, watch it on Netflix, directed by Daniel Goldhaber, written by Issa Mazzei and Daniel Goldhaber, starring Madeline Brewer, Patch Darragh, and Melora Walters. 1 hour, 34 minutes.
And again, we might mention a spoiler or two.
Yeah.
Not as crucial in this one, I don't think.
We both like this one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, and we're going to spoil it here.
But
sorta.
I don't think it's, and I don't think it'd be as crucial going into this one blind.
Yeah, it'd be good either way.
Yeah.
Actually, I read the spoilers for this one before we watched it, and I still thought it was really good.
I didn't.
Alice is a cam girl, calling herself Lola and spanking herself on camera for tip money.
Or anything the guys watching want.
They type in the chat room, take your shirt off, spank yourself, say this word, and she does it for money.
And it's a thing where the guys can tip. You tip tokens, and the more tokens the guys tip, the more.
And over on the side of the screen, she can see her ranking on the site.
Yeah.
And when the movie starts, she's at like 53 or something like that.
She's going for that top 50. Top 50.
She has a very generous audience. She blocks one annoying user, but he won't stay blocked. Use a knife. I want you to bleed, he says in the chat room. She pulls out a big old knife and threatens to kill herself, and the tip money goes way up. Mm-hmm. She then cuts her own throat and lays there dead. Blood shoots everywhere. After about a minute, she gets back up. It was all just a trick. The credits roll. That's all pre-credit stuff.
Pretty much. That was the credits, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was just getting started.
Yeah.
So she's happy with the rating. She's up to number 53 on the site now.
Yay.
She talks to Tinker, her friend who helps her with technical stuff, but blows him off for a paying customer. As in avoiding him, not blowing him off.
Right, yeah.
Later, Tink hears her invite the girl from the dollar store to a birthday party that he wasn't told about. Tink, who is infatuated with her, feels slighted.
Mm-hmm.
Barnacle Bob, they all have their online pseudonyms. Barnacle Bob keeps calling her, and now he starts buying her real gifts. They start talking about meeting in real life when his wife comes home and the laptop gets shut real quick.
Yeah, gotta go. Gotta go. Lid close.
Meanwhile, Alice declines more of Tink's calls. Making Tink angry, I bet.
Yeah.
Tonight, she and a friend are going to the Chem Girl Club, big neon sign, Chem Girl Club, and ride the Vibratron on camera. And she expects it'll draw a big crowd.
Yeah,
they're having a great show, and they pass 50 finally.
And the center it's basically like this one woman's great big house, and she has little studio rooms.
Each bedroom is a different studio,
and the girls can go there and use the various furniture or the Vibratron or whatever.
Kind of a silly idea, but it gives the viewer an idea just how much competition there is in this field.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Because it's crowded.
Struggling to each be unique and stand out and get the tips and get the audience above the other girls when they're all doing weird and interesting things.
How do you get a bigger audience?
How do you stand out?
Take your shirt off and things like that, right?
Yeah, ride the Vibratron.
Does it work for YouTube?
Ride the Vibratron.
Does it work for YouTube?
Yeah. Flash them.
Okay, maybe not.
And we'll have to tell them about Patreon,
Patreon, there you go.
Patreon tips.
Send us some Patreon this week, and we'll do next week topless. It might be worth it.
Maybe.
The next morning, she tries to log into her account, but can't do it. She searches for her account and finds that she's online. Right now.
Live.
Except she's not. But that does sure look like her on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
She goes into her studio and finds the video playing in there, but there's no one in the actual room, even though it's clearly the same room as on the video. She calls tech support, and they see it too. The show is live, and the person on the video matches her description, so they won't remove it. She then logs in under a different account, but she quickly gets banned. And it quickly becomes obvious that the show is not a rerun. It's live.
It's still going on without
So
her.
she's watching herself perform a live show in the studio that is empty on her account with her face, and she's not there. So figure it out.
How is this possible?
The next night, her doppelganger is on again, but the new shows are way more popular and creative than the old ones. This happened after she performed at the Camgirl Club, but no one there takes credit for hacking her. Then she calls support again, and now her access code is invalid. Tinker shows up and says Lola told him she loved him last night. Except she wasn't really even on last night. Not really, not her.
Well, yeah, and this is a little bit of a discrepancy here. He shows up in real person at her mother's flower or hairdresser studio with flowers, because Lola told him, and she doesn't like Tinker that way.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, go on, and I'll
she goes to her brother's birthday party.
The issue I had there at that point.
Okay, she goes to her brother's birthday party, and a lot of the young boys there are watching her show that she's live on while she's at the party. Her mother grabs one of the phones, and now she knows what Alice does for a living.
Cat's out of the bag.
That's a party stopper.
Let's have cake now.
The Alice on the screen pulls out a gun and gets all sexy with it, and then she starts getting really big tips, and her ranking goes way up. Then she blows her head off and gets back up again, just like the trick with the knife.
Just fake.
Top 20!
Yay! But it's not really Lola. She's finally in the top 50. Way past the top 50.
Whoever this is doing a better job than she did.
Yeah.
She calls Barney, one of her biggest fans and supporters, and meets him. He seems to know all the girls personally, and he spends a lot of time with them. Alice goes to the restroom, and while she's in there, Lola comes online, and Barney gets a notification about it.
He's a little confused.
Barney now knows she's not the same person as on the screen. He gets angry, and he thinks she's trying to scam him. She's not, but it definitely looks that way.
Yeah.
Lola does a pair video with the #1 girl on the site. Alice does some research and tracks down Hannah, that #1 girl, but Hannah's been dead for 6 months. Hannah's done a lot of dual shows over the past 6 months also, with other people.
With other girls, despite not being really there anymore.
She's not alive, and yet she's still working with other people.
And so she puts it together, the real Lola does, that many of these accounts are not really them. Not really those girls.
Many of these girls also have Tinker as their #1 friend. Could he be behind all this?
Which does make you wonder.
Alice is cornered by her mother, and her mother says she's actually kind of jealous and supportive of the videos.
And Lola
I don't think my mother would be all that supportive of me doing a porn video, a regular nightly porn video.
Yeah, well, she's an empowered woman, and so proud
if you want, I guess.
Proud of, but
the pay seems to be good.
Yeah.
So Alice tracks down Tink. He's very understanding. He'll do anything for her. Tinker, whose real name is Arnold, says he'll track down whoever's behind this. She confronts him, and he says he can usually tell when girls are going to get copied, but he doesn't know how it works. He insists that he wouldn't do this. Finally, she gets to talk to Lola on a face-to-face chat. You can talk to these people one-on-one for a certain amount of money.
Well, and it's because Tinker was in a private show with Lola.
Right.
And when the real Lola comes in and tasers him, and he's incapacitated in the next room, the show is still on, and
she walks in and can talk to her.
Hi, are you Tinker's girlfriend? I don't recognize you. And she doesn't recognize her.
They're identical looking, but yet the one on the computer doesn't recognize the real one.
Yeah.
Finally, Alice sets up a webcam and does a double pair of video with herself, Lola and Alice together. With both of them on screen at the same time, she hopes to expose the duplicate as what she is.
And that was really cool how she did that. It was kind of
complicated. It was a neat visual effect.
Yeah. It was one of the things where, you tip them and they'll do what you tell them. Well, go sit at your vanity. And so she does, and that's the mirror reflection of the fake room. And at the same time, the real Lola is at her real vanity with the camera behind her pointing, and basically it gets an
kind of one of those infinity views.
Yeah, a double infinity on both sides of the projection and the reflection, and
As they play Monkey See, Monkey Do, Alice starts banging her face into the table, and she finally hits number one by beating her face into the table.
Yeah.
After winning back and deleting her own account, Alice now has an ugly broken nose and a few scars. Now that she looks different, she starts a new account on the Camgirl site and gets right back to work with her new fake identity. We do not learn.
And I thought the ending was a little bit weak because of that she gets right back to it with and her mother says,
it pays good. She's good at it.
Yeah. Well, what if you're going? What if you get stolen again?
Then I'll just start over again.
Yeah.
Make a new account every time. So from the trailers, I expected this movie was about YouTubers, not actual porno cam workers.
Yeah.
Still, it's a good view into what happens with identity theft and the frustrating way tech support actually works with online services. No help at all.
Well, this is an impossible level of identity theft that.
Literally choosing, stealing the identity. Visually.
Yeah, literally stealing your identity.
You know, another 10 years, though, with AI and image generation, you can fake people's voices. You can do Photoshop. Why not video?
And you could, yeah.
You're seeing dead actors in movies somewhat regularly now.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite this convincing, but they're getting there.
Well, there is a mention of a deleted scene.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's what I was thinking anyway. Because there's no implication of supernatural.
No.
That it's a ghost or a demon or, doppelganger or anything.
There is a scene where she goes back over her own videos and pulls out clips where she uses phrases and words that the new Lola is using. And it looks like Lola may be just stealing some of her old material.
But she's also saying the exact same phrases that some of the other girls are saying too. What it basically is not an AI necessarily, but some kind of consciousness on the web that has
think it was
become
an
self-aware.
Some algorithm, like, there are algorithms out there now that will write stories and write music, just completely artificially generated, that more or less makes sense.
And somehow
this is just ahead of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Overall, it's a pretty good story.
I don't think Tinker did it. He
didn't.
He figured it out that it was happening.
He caught on to it.
Which goes back to, he knows that this is happening and the girls are fake, and and the fake girl tells Tinker, I love you and I want you to be mine.
And he still believes it.
And he believes it and shows up at the real world and the real girl. Thinking
he knows this is happening, but he falls for her tricks.
Yeah, and that didn't make any sense because he knew she wasn't real.
Had not thought of that. You're right.
Yeah.
Overall, it was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot. It's good.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
7.5.
Okay, I'll give 7. Yeah.